Hello and welcome to this new episode of Talan Talks Tech by Talan Tunisia. Today, we have as a guest Rachel Frigi, AI consultant in Talan. Welcome, Rachel.
Hi, Farouk. Thank you so much for the invitation to this amazing podcast.
Thank you, Rachel. Before starting, could you know a bit more about Rachel?
Yes, sure. So my name is Rachel Frigi. I am research engineer at Talan Innovation Factory, the R&D department of Talan Tunisia. So actually, I'm leading the research activities at Talan Innovation Factory with a focus in artificial intelligence.
That's amazing, Rachel. So, as first step in our talk today, could we define AI?
Thank you, Farouk, for the question. It's important to define what is artificial intelligence. I would mention first that there are a lot of definitions within the literature and among the scientific community of artificial intelligence. But just to make it simple for those who are watching us, artificial intelligence is the simulation of any form of intelligence, of a human intelligence using machines.
That's great. So, intelligence, simulating intelligence. So that means applications based on artificial intelligence are able to take decisions.
Yes, decisions is one of human intelligence forms. So we can talk about assisting. I would insist on this point. So assisting on taking decisions. It can help perceiving things within your environment, understand a language, but in any way, artificial intelligence, so far at least, is meant to augment your capabilities or our capabilities as humans, but not to take decisions on our places.
Okay, so based on that, we're talking about applications like monitoring, where application can detect if it's a car, if it's a man, if who is that person, is allowed to access or not, whatever, monitoring and analyzing videos. We were talking also about text languages. So as far as you were talking, you were focusing on the fact that artificial intelligence is just assisting. It's not making decisions. Even for assisting, it's suggestions. It's suggesting some decisions. It's not making them, but it's suggesting them. How AI is able to suggest, and we're seeing it even with ChatGPT actually.
Yeah.
So its answers are just amazing.
Yes.
Are just so precise, so in details, and so fitable with our need.
Yeah.
So how could we and how were we able, because it's existing actually, how were we able to set up such technology and such intelligence?
Yes, I can see your question. So how we can frame this AI.
Yeah.
So actually what I'm talking about was about, as I said, so far we are able to take control over the artificial intelligence, since we have control over the data we are feeding to this AI. We say that artificial intelligence has a memory, and we as human, we are building this memory. So first we have control over the data we are injecting within artificial intelligence models, and we have control over the metrics we are defining for these models. So we as humans are as experts in any domain, in finance, in IT, or whatever, we still have control over the metrics. Based on them, we can assess if this AI is suitable for my tasks, since we are still talking about what we call narrow AI, which means an AI specialized in a specific task. But yes, you are totally right. We should consider the coming the coming threats, the ethical, the regulation, and our GDPR, etc. Since we have this awareness, like you do, so I think we'll be safe with AI.
Okay, so thank you for that. you were talking about Nero, and actually it remembers me some class on university.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Nero, like what's happening in the mind of persons, in the brain of people? We have data, then we have some metrics. We apply the new data on that matrix, we cross them with the result, if it's yes or no. And those metrics are evolving based on the decision and, let's say, based on the fact if the result of this calculation, of this mathematical calculation, is right or not. So it's auto updating the ratio of this mathematical calculation.
Yeah, in some sort, if we consider the umbrella or the discipline of deep learning, which is a subfield of artificial intelligence, I would say yes. It's somehow this, the artificial intelligence is trying to imitate the way the human brain is learning through connecting dots. The dots are the input features or information, and trying to extract some sort of insight or meaningful decision or output. But here, you remind me of some thoughts I'm having this period, because still now working with deep learning, everyone is working with what we call the backpropagation mechanism based on this learning and error and this fine-tuning of the error and of the weights, etc. But I was discussing with one of the team members and with our interns. I think that being dependent to this mechanism, which is the backpropagation, it's kind of, it's not democratizing artificial intelligence. I mean the production of AI models, because this mechanism requires a lot of data.
Input data, yeah.
Yes, and as you said, a lot of computation power, which makes it not accessible for everyone. So now everyone can use the solutions based on AI, such as ChatGPT or Bard or whatever. It's kind of consuming what exists, but in terms of revolutionizing this area, it's becoming challenging. So I was sharing with them, I think the next breakthrough in artificial intelligence would be about finding out a new mechanism. It won't be backpropagation. Maybe if we gather a group of neuroscientists with physicists, with mathematicians.
It's already consumed.
Yeah, consumed, and it's in some kind, I would say, I don't know if it's correct or not, it's FR so far as a mechanism, and we stick to one kind of AI.
Approach.
Yeah, so as you said, so ChatGPT, we are all now using ChatGPT, and we are all receiving the same answers, actually with some different, with some differences, and irrespective of our nations, of our countries, of our culture, etc. So yeah, this is just a thought I had. I would like to share with you in this podcast.
Thank you for sharing. And before we continue our talk, please pay attention with ChatGPT, because no one knows where those data are being saved.
Yes.
So be aware. We actually had, so we're not going to precise names, but we had some data leaks.
Yeah, in some
due to ChatGPT.
big companies, yes.
Yeah. We're not going to
just for you, maybe, yeah, I think here at Talan, we are cybersecurity team. They are working on preparing a user policy for AI products, including ChatGPT. This is a scoop. Yeah. Yeah, you should be aware. You're absolutely right, Farouk. Yeah, it stores everything, even Bard, Google Bard. It's online. It's amazing. It makes your work easier and more efficient. But be careful. It stores also your data and share it with the community.
Even in my teams, when we discuss, because even in my team, in all my teams, we're working with Microsoft technologies, as you know.
I know.
And
this is why you were mentioning ChatGPT only.
Because you own some parts. Yeah. So the first thing I was suggesting them, when you ask ChatGPT, change the values. okay, there is nothing wrong about asking ChatGPT to write you SQL script or about asking ChatGPT to write you unit test or whatever, but then you have to change all the names and all the values. Because actually, we don't have any information where those data are being stored.
So you get the result you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is, there is a complete discipline now with appearing with a ChatGPT called prompt engineering. And I think it's not really engineering, but they kind of call it engineering to make it sound more interactive for engineers and developers.
In the wider definition of engineering.
Yeah, so I think this is one of the tricks so they can include in the ChatGPT course because it's a tricky way to ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, so it was just a small introduction to ChatGPT and awareness about it. So let's be back to AI and about deep learning. We were talking about deep learning and about the backpropagation of the data that needs a huge volume of data.
Okay.
I was working a bit on that topic a few years ago, at the beginning of artificial intelligence, and we were. It's amazing. It's funny to see how we were working on artificial intelligence before and how it's going now.
Artificial intelligence, it dates from 1940s. I mean, the name artificial intelligence, it dates from 1956. So
exactly. So more than 10 years ago, we're not going to Thailand.
Yes, for us, it was just 10 years ago. Yeah.
More than 10 years ago, we were storing thousands and thousands of data, of images, for example, and we're splitting them on two folders: correct data, incorrect data, and we were keeping our computers working the whole night, processing the data, so they can have some references. So to say then, if the new data is more similar to the OK base, let's say, or for the cow and
the labeling part is so always the most difficult part of AI that everyone hates, but it should be done. So, it should be done.
We need to create the first references of the AI.
You know what? Your podcast is it reminds me of many things. I had a discussion with some of the team members here at Talan. Maybe now we should think about installing some procedures to collect data as we go. Because, I mean, even though you can see now what you're going to use your data, your labeled data, maybe it's time to start collecting, storing properly.
So that's amazing. As far as I remember your things, you remember me things back many years ago. It's not something really new, but we had new kind of companies. It's not kind of company, it's more company culture, what we call data-oriented companies. Those companies that never delete data. They either move them to data lakes or flag them as deleted in the database so that they don't appear. So it's based on the volume. The huge data you have, the more you need to create data lakes and to move data there. And if you have, let's say, a reasonable amount of data, you can just flag them as deleted. And then we run statistics to check the behavior of people. So just a detail about it and more an information and an important information, all data are anonymized. We never store personal data, part of GDPR.
Here I have a surprise. Maybe it shouldn't be revealed today, but at Innovation Factory, we have found some solution for this anonymizing data. So it's kind of a paradigm shift in AI where you don't have to share your data and still you can
Oh,
make models learn. Yes, just stay tuned.
so you know
Mhm.
that's a world topic.
Yeah.
GDPR.
Yeah.
And the guarantee that our data are being deleted. So
Yeah.
you're talking about one of the biggest GDPR issues around the world, actually.
Yes. Actually, the solution I'm talking about is, as I said, it's a paradigm shift where you don't have even to share your data. I don't have your data, but still I can exploit it to make decisions or insights that are beneficial for you. I know it sounds like magic,
Yeah.
but it's possible.
I know. Exactly. Just say just because I know we're not going to be able to give
To share more
further information,
Yeah.
but just stay tuned.
Yeah.
And I know that it will be revealed soon.
Hopefully.
You're not going to wait. Exactly. You're not going to wait for months. It's just some few weeks. That's amazing. That's amazing how data and AI are changing the world, changing the way we're seeing the world. We're able actually to create categories of people. For example, for banking, for people that are interested on banking, what we do, and we always did that on banking. And actually, it's being done with AI, so it's more efficient.
Yeah.
Segmenting people to know, okay, you're going to have access to, I don't know, that amount of services. The other person is going to have another amount. Exactly. And artificial intelligence is really helping to have what we call border free. Because people in border of segments can switch at any time.
Yeah.
So artificial intelligence are really helping to have calculation and to experiment multiple rules to have this border-free on segment. That's very amazing how much artificial intelligence, it's not a domain.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
I would amaze you maybe as considering the definition I mentioned, like the simulation of any human intelligence, I would say even the calculator is a sort of artificial intelligence. Any way, IoT, Internet of Objects, it's actually the way I'm collecting data. So it's part of the pipeline. So this is my way of seeing it. Artificial intelligence, every intelligence or every technology is part of this hub or umbrella term, which is artificial intelligence.
Exactly. And you really mentioned it at the beginning of this talk. You said artificial intelligence is just assisting. So just
So far.
so
Yeah.
far, and it's really little just because it's evolving so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started with calculators. It started with the first version of computers, and that started to give us some assistance, some automated computing, and now it's just amazing how far artificial intelligence is everywhere.
Revolutionizing our lives. Yes. Why I'm saying it's just assisting and etc. As far as we still have control, I mean, the model it won't work until a human activates it. It's okay, but because now there are works on self-learning, auto-learning. So this is where we
Yeah, and
like to make people scary about AI because we don't have the choice. We should continue working on artificial intelligence, but it would be rather to be a contributor rather than a consumer. This is the point.
in Asia, what they did, there is a company in Asia, they created their own artificial intelligence. They deployed it on a robot, and now the robot is the CEO.
Yes, we call it the humanoid.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But
The humanoid is
Yeah.
the CEO of the company. So
yeah,
people that created the humanoid,
it's not
I'm
like
just-
it's a big company.
we're gonna avoid. We're just storytelling here, but we're gonna avoid any name of companies.
Yes. Still, I think, even though with my colleague Ahmed, you have just received in the last episode, we have been discussing about creativity. We said, it's okay for us. We, as humans, we are creative, so we are safe. Robots or AI-based robots, they wouldn't be. But then we said, like, no, just a minute. Creativity creativity is about connecting dots, connecting informations you already know. So robots can do this.
Exactly.
So we are at risk, but yes, we shouldn't be scared anyway.
Just to add something, and it's probably an advice for people, never try to go against the technology and against the evolution. Always try to use it
And
to take benefits.
evolution. Yeah, it's an evolution, not what some people call it revolution. It's something like we will delete everything we have seen, everything we did, and just we're done. Sorry, and just
it's a continuity.
Yeah,
it's a continuity. It's an evolution. So take it as it is. Pay attention while using it.
Yeah.
Because it can be scary when you don't know how to use it. But since you know that you don't have to put personal data there, you know what kind of information you ask for, etc.
And to which extent you have trust to this provided information.
Exactly. So so the talk is really nice.
We can
go further. we can keep talking for hours and hours. But probably we're going to try to summarize, and further than that, to advise people who are really interested on artificial intelligence, how they could start working on that, learning about artificial intelligence, and joining us for internship if it's possible.
Yeah, sure. So if you are a beginner, just a fresh graduated student, just join us at Talan Innovation Factory. We have a custom-made bootcamp. It's a 5 weeks long program just to raise awareness about artificial intelligence and the different aspects of artificial intelligence, and to help you upgrade your skills with artificial intelligence, with all the subfields, NLP, computer vision, and etc. But if you are already in the market and you're looking for upgrading your skills with AI, so there are a lot of courses there in the market, for example, of Yann Khan, etc. But what I really advise you is to consider the different aspects of the AI, the historical, the ethical, the regulations, etc. Don't consider it like only technological discipline, for it's a multi-facet, let's say, discipline. So the better you are aware about these aspects, the more you can go further with it. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Rasha, for being with us today. It was really, literally amazing having you with us. I hope you'll be back with us to talk about the GDPR, other more details, and lot of other facets, like I say, of AI. Thank you, Rasha, for accepting this invitation and being with us today. Thank you all for listening to this episode. See you soon in 2 weeks. Stay tuned.